Welcome to Reread, where I'm rereading through the expanded universe in chronological order. Today we're going to talk about several different short stories here. The first one is from the Star Wars Gamer #2, written by Daniel Wallace, called The Monster. The moment I read the phrase Captain Panaka, I was like, yes, I remember this one. And it's still just as good as I remember. It opens up where he's tracking down a Gungan, and the Gungan turns and starts hitting him with his tongue. And bust his nose up, hit him in the eye or something, hit him in the head. He's just hitting him with his tongue, which I thought was really kind of gross and cool. But when he sucked him with the eye and he was trying to, not suck his eyeball out, but he hit him in the eye and kind of stuck there. Instead of trying to pull away, Panaka just grabbed him and headbutted him and knocked him out. Panaka is really cool in this story, and I love that. They took a character who really didn't have much to do in the movie and was kind of pointless. He was very, very bland, and they gave him a little bit of backstory. He's a tough cop who's trying to do the right thing, and this is where he finds that secret cavern. We don't know what it was for, but obviously Sidious and King Varuna of the planet Naboo were in it together. It's one of their little smuggling things or whatever they had going on. Anyway, there's a guy it's by the sea and it's kind of hidden. It's a little cavern in there. There's a lot of dead bodies. They've been rotted out for a long time. It talks about the rotting skull of a Gungan. It's like, ooh, that's kind of creepy. But anyway, this conspiracy theorist who Panaka is tracking down basically gets Panaka's gun through a struggle and makes him, go through the cave to see if there's any booby traps. Well, eventually Panaka gets the upper hand, grabs the gun, tries to stop him, but when he shoots and fires, the gun fizzles out. The guy's going like this, like, goodbye, Panaka, and he turns around, and Sate Pestage, this is his first chronological appearance here, shoots him in the chest and kills him. And Panaka's like, why'd you do that? You could have held him captive. We need to interview him. We need to interrogate him. There's a cavern down there. I don't know what's going on. How did he know about it? Who it belongs to? And Sate Pestage is like, it's okay. He's like, wait, what's that in your hand? Did you grab something from that cavern? He's like, no. And he goes away. So Sate Pestage has always been with Palpatine from the very beginning. He's from Naboo too, which I somehow had forgotten. But it's a great story because when Panaka goes to his chief to report, he's like, don't worry, it's already being dealt with. He went, what do you mean? And they're blowing up the cavern and burying all the evidence. He went, oh, all those dead bodies you saw, that was probably that big fish. There was a big fish that washed up on shore. That is the monster. And he said it probably just regurgitated all those victims before it left. He's like, no, that doesn't make sense. They were sitting around in certain areas. But the thing is, it's obvious a cover-up from the very top. Panaka just doesn't realize that. He's getting frustrated. He knows something's off because no one wants to investigate this find. It is really good. I hate to say that because it's Star Wars Gamer. I don't know how easy that is to get, but if you can find it online, definitely read it. I enjoyed it. The next one I want to talk about is from Dark Horse Presents Annual from the year 2000. It's Aurras Song, talking about Aurra Sing. It's just a little one-shot adventure, all done in black and white, where she starts off, she is captured by another Anzadi bounty hunter who was a friend of hers back at this assassin school that she went to. And he's bragging and they're doing flashbacks. He kind of liked her. She didn't like him. He was full of himself. And now here you are, my captive after so long. She's like, you're my captive. And she switches the trap onto him. Somehow she's the one who put out a bounty on herself just to capture him because he has a bounty too. Okay. I mean, it was part of their girls' rule year for the year 2000, and Aurra Sing was new. I don't know how much had been told about her at this point, but said, hey, let's take one of these characters from episode 1, the movie, and let's, give her own little story. There's not much to it. Now, the next one is written by Randy Stradley. It's the 4-issue series by Dark Horse called Star Wars Jedi Council. Mace Windu assembles a team of a lot of council members that we've seen from the episode 1 and members from, that they made up too. He breaks them up into 3 teams to do 3 different things about it's concerning the planet Yanchori. Palpatine and Maul are kind of sitting off into, I guess, on Coruscant. It doesn't really say. but they're sitting back, making these plans. There's wheels within wheels. Darth Maul wants to join the mission, but Palpatine says no, or Sidious says not right now. But this is the first chronological appearance of Vili, everyone's favorite Devorian. I guess this is how he got wanted by the Jedi, and I don't know why, but I forgot Vili was in this. Now, he's not in it that much. He's basically in charge of one team to do something for Darth Sidious. That kind of fails, but Vili doesn't get to be his normal humorous self, like John Ostrander will later show us in the Star Wars ongoing comic book. This story was okay. It kind of plotted a little bit. The Yunchori were these dinosaur-looking like people who are also being manipulated by Sidious. Sidious is manipulating the whole planet because if they're left unchecked, now the Republic has put sanctions on them, and that's good because I don't know. Something with Sidious's plan all went accordingly. Maul's like, oh no, they failed. The Yunchori lost. He's like, it all goes according to plan, because he's smiling. Also, a Jedi Master dies. No one important, just someone made up for the comic book, because I guess they couldn't kill off any of the Jedi Masters at this point. The artwork's not very good, not very intriguing, and the story is meh, just kind of meh. One weird thing I found out, I thought it was a coloring issue, but then later on they showed it. Some of the Jedi Knights or Jedi Masters have red lightsabers, which I thought was weird. There's one big scene where there's a lot of Jedi Masters in the Jedi Temple, and some of them have red lightsabers. I was like, oh, that was just a coloring mistake. But then later on, it shows one charging in a few panels with her red lightsaber. Really? I don't know if any Jedi would carry a red lightsaber. That's usually meaning the dark side. So that was kind of a weird choice. But obviously they meant to put a red lightsaber in it, unless the guy who was coloring had never seen Star Wars before. Maybe a possibility. Either way, Jedi Council, meh, just meh. Not really bad, but just, you read the whole thing and went, okay, moving on. And that's exactly what I plan to do next time.